Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the November 2022 plugin roundup here on iThemes Training. My name is Nathan Ingram. I am the host here at iThemes Training, and every month we take a look out at the WordPress plugin directory and get about a dozen or so fun plugins we think are worth sharing. These are plugins that typically have been added to or updated in the WordPress plugin directory each month. Generally speaking, they're all going to be free. I can't think of a premium plugin we've ever done on the plugin roundup. These are all free plugins. And by the way, as we're getting started, let me just remind you that you can submit your vote for a plugin if you'd like to do that. Let me just pull that up right here on the iThemes Training website. If you are logged in as a member, you'll have a link here that says suggest a plugin. If you're not a member of iThemes Training or you don't have the iThemes Toolkit, you can just go into each individual plugin roundup webinar and click the suggest a plugin button, and that will let you suggest a plugin. If there's a great free plugin that you know of, we'd love to take a look at it and potentially add it to our list for the next month. And while we're here, by the way, let me just point you towards a brand new event that we just scheduled on yesterday, I think. Timothy Jacobs, the lead developer for iThemes Security, who is also a WordPress core committer, and he's the maintainer of the WordPress REST API. Timothy, deep into the WordPress core community, is going to be giving us the preview of, well, not really preview, it's launching today. He'll be giving us a walkthrough of the WordPress 6.1 release, which again is scheduled to drop sometime today. So next Tuesday, a week from today, 1 o'clock, we'd invite you to join us for this event. The link is there in the chat room if you'd like to do that. And Timothy has walked through the last several WordPress releases with us, and it's always been a great time. He's a brilliant guy and he's one of those unique people who not only is incredibly intelligent, but has the ability to explain things in a way that us normal people can understand. So it's always great to hear him talk about core WordPress and answer all the questions that come up. All right, folks, well, let's get started with plugin roundup, shall we? We've got a great list today. Let me drop in one more time the link to today's handout. If you're just coming in a little bit late, let me drop that in. And then if one of you kind folks wouldn't mind just copying that link and sharing it with folks that come in late, I'd appreciate that. That link will give you this handout, and we're going to start off with a suggested plugin. Actually, two of you suggested the same plugin. Ben Bradley and Karen Green both suggested the Find My Blocks plugin, and we really like it. So let's take a look over here at wpnathan.com where all those things are set up and going. And let us get, first of all, our computer to stop wobbling around. There we go. Let's get that plugin activated and we'll take a look. Now, this is a block editor plugin. So this is going to be very helpful if you're using Gutenberg blocks or Cadence blocks, all those things. And this is the Find My Blocks plugin. So let's activate that. And when that is active, we will see a really interesting little spot here down under, is it tools? I always forget where this thing is located. Just a minute. It is under, where is it? Find My Blocks under tools. There it is. All right. So what this is doing right now is it's scanning the website and giving us a list of all the blocks that are used on the website. And it will tell us what pages they are located on. So if you are building with the block editor, this is an indispensable plugin, in my opinion. So for example, here, the Cadence Advanced Heading block is used in 5 posts. So we can take a look at that. Here they all are listed. 28 usages in this post. On the webinar demos page, here on this page, it's used 3 times. So we can actually edit the post from right here as well. And it will show us all of our Cadence headings and so forth that are used. As you look down here, let's say, where have we used a video pop-up? We'll click on that. Oh, it's right here under this particular page called Block Styling Backend. How about, I don't remember the SureCart. That's interesting. So that's in one spot. Yeah, so there's all of our blocks that are in use on the site in total. You can also, if you just want to find, say, for example, just filter by cadence, it'll just show those. So you get a live preview of the blocks. It's pretty nifty. So again, this is these are blocks. If you're using a page builder, this is not modules for your page builder. It's only your Gutenberg block editor blocks that are in use on the site. So very powerful plugin if you're building with the block editor. Thanks, Ben and Karen, for submitting this one. Any questions or comments on this one? Really, really very cool. Yep. All right, next one down the list is a plugin from our friend Scott Kingsley Clark, who is the developer of the Pods plugin that we've liked for so long here on iThemes Training. Scott's a brilliant WordPress developer, and he's come up with, I think, a very clever, simple plugin that does something that you might find helpful. How many times have you been working on a particular part of the site, and maybe it's a site, especially it has a really long admin menu like this, and you find yourself scrolling down to try to find, oh, here's the menu of things I'm working on, and here's the sub menus, right? So sometimes you have to scroll down and find all those things, or you forget where in the list this particular custom post type is located. Well, what this plugin is going to do, it's a very simple thing that it does. If you're working in a particular area, it's going to move that menu to the very top. So let's just activate Sticky Admin Menu right there. And notice we are in the plugins area right now. And when this page refreshes, look, plugins is now located at the top. So we don't have to scroll down to find our plugin area. It just knows that we're in that area. So it moves that portion of the menu to the top. So let's say you're working in Gravity Forms. So we click into Gravity Forms, and now it is located at the top instead of having to scroll down and find that spot where it happens to be open in the middle of a really long WordPress admin menu. So again, it's a simple plugin, but it does a very important thing. And it also, of course, works for any sub menus. Like if you're working in WooCommerce and we go to settings, the whole WooCommerce menu item pops up to the top as long as we are in it. Melanie, does it apply to all users? Well, it's your user, right? So like this plugin knows that I'm on this page right now for me in this box. And so it moves that whole menu, all the associated items, to the top in the admin menu. So there are no settings to this plugin. So if I'm logged in as another user, or other user levels, editors, subscribers, authors, whatever, it's going to do that. Yeah. So you can't restrict this by role, at least right now. Maybe Scott would do something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of one and done. It's active or it's not, right? There are no settings for this plugin. But it's handy, right? It's really simple, but handy. Yeah. Devin, could you imagine a live search bar in the sidebar? We've actually done plugins that do that. And matter of fact, there is a plugin in the list today that does something similar to exactly what you're describing. All right. Any other questions or comments on this one? That is Sticky Admin Menu from SKC, a very brilliant WordPress developer. All right. So moving right along, we're just making record time here today. As Stacy's saying, it would confuse your clients. Yeah, it may. And so don't use it, right? But maybe particularly if you're working on a site, this can be a nice little, quick install and activate, and you might find that it was a little easier. Okay. Next on the list is a pretty nifty little plugin called Hide Any Page from Luis Mendillo, right? So if you've ever wanted to hide a particular page or post or whatever from a search engine, there's a number of ways you can do that. You might have an SEO plugin, for example, like Yoast SEO, that hides pages and posts. If you go down to the advanced settings in Yoast in a particular page or post, you can set to no index and so forth. But this is a plugin that's going to give you that same functionality on any page or post, and it gives you a list of everything. Actually, pardon me, it only currently works with pages right now, not posts or custom post types. So this is going to give you a list of all the pages on your site and allow you to set those as hidden. So let's go activate this one. And before I go any further, I'm going to deactivate the couple of things that we have activated already, like sticky menu also. And let's quick activate hide my page. All right, so now that this is active, we have the ability to go down here under settings to hide any page. And what you're going to see here is a list of pages. So let's just go to one of these pages, for example, like say you might always want to hide a thank you page. So here's like a thank you page. You're redirected after a form or whatever. So let's just take a look at this page really quick. It's a very simple page. It says probably thank you. I don't know what this is about. It's something left over from some demo we did a million years ago here. And if we go here and we check this box and save, what this is actually going to do now, well, let's just take a quick look. All right. What this is going to do is on the source of this page, buried someplace, hang on, right here, it adds our no index, no archive, no snippet. So it adds this meta tag on the page where the checkbox is located. So right here, you can just, here's your list of pages. You can check the ones that you want to turn off, and the ones that you do so, it's just simply going to add this no index, no archive, no snippet tag in the meta, in the page. So search engines should leave that page alone. So that's pretty helpful, I think, especially as you're preparing a site to launch. There's a number of pages that you might not want to index, these success pages being one of those, or maybe terms and conditions or those sorts of things. Check. Gary, great question. Do pages still show up in your website search? Yes. So what this plugin does is it gives you the meta tag to keep your page from being indexed by search engines. So it does not affect the WordPress search itself. Yeah. Any other questions or comments on this one? Yeah, Doug, it will wish it would do custom post types. Yeah. Maybe the developer is going to do that eventually. Don't know. This is a brand new, as I recall, brand new plugin. Yeah, just launched a couple months ago. Very low install base. This is one of those little gems that we dig out in these plugin roundups that do a cool thing. They're brand new. They've just been launched. So, pro version. Is there a pro version? Oh, none. They're not talking about a pro version yet, but Melanie's being probably rightly skeptical about this one. Who knows? But just reach out to the developer. That's what the support forums are for. Drop in a ticket and say, hey, here's a feature request. Could we add posts and custom post types and so forth? But honestly, I mean, custom post types for sure. Posts, I mean, if it's a post, you probably want it indexed, right? And under what circumstances would a custom post type not need to be indexed? That's the question. I'm sure there's a use case for that. Anyhow, that is hide any page. Nifty little plugin. Any further questions or comments on that one? All right, next up is a really nice block slider. So before everybody goes off about sliders, let me just say this. I am generally anti-slider on the homepage and generally anti-slider when it comes to, burying information on slide to slide. There are, however, use cases where sliders can actually be helpful. Like, having something that's going to engage a user that they'll actually flip through, maybe not in the hero area of a website, but on some other page showing different options or different views of things or whatever. Sliders are not all bad. They're just frequently used poorly in bad places. So here's a great little plugin to do just that. Now, it is called B Slider. And I need to go activate that. It is really simple to use and pretty easy to get something that looks pretty nice. So we have a page set up for this. So you can see what it looks like. Here's the finished product. So you can imagine, I mean, this could just be like a photo gallery. It could be features of something that you flip through. It's really easy to use. You've got the options for these, dots or bars down here to show some navigation. You can change all of this stuff. On mobile, it'll be a touch swipe. So it works really nicely. And here's how it actually works to put it together. This is what's cool about it. It's just super simple to actually create this slider. So let's go here into our slider and notice each of your slides are just right here. So let's add a new slide. And we're going to call this, let's grab an image from our media library. I don't know who that guy is. I think he came in with a Cadence website demo. Let's put a space shuttle launch. And the title is going to be showing up here yet? Yeah, there it is. All right, our card title will be launch today. I don't know, whatever. And you got your description right here. And there it is. It's on. It's like it's ready to go right now. Now we have a lot of control over styling, as the, where's the content going to be? The overlay, misspelled overlay color. You can match that to your site if you want. Your title styles, colors, and so forth, what the description looks like, the arrow style. You can change your sizes here. The indicators, which are these, are they dots or dashes? You can change that, how big they are. When something is active, what color it changes. Yeah, so really simple. Yeah, exactly, Melanie. It's so simple and user-friendly. It is accessible. As you can see, I'm tabbing through the things right now. I'm using my keyboard now to tab through the slides. Yeah. So really simple to use as far as sliders go. Now, the Cadence Advanced slider has even more features than this. It's also accessible. It works really well. If you're not using Cadence, this is a good option. That is the B slider from B Plugins LLC. Any other questions or comments on this one? Yeah, the Cadence slider is just as user-friendly and actually has more features even than this one does. All righty, moving down the list to block styling backend. Now, this is a plugin that I don't know that I would continue to use for a long time, but especially if I was just getting used to the block editor, this would be a plugin that I think I would like. And basically what it's going to do is it adds labels to the different parts of the block editor so you can kind of see what's going on. It might also be something that you turn on and off depending on if it's a complex page layout or not, and it's easy to get lost in some of those navigations. So let's take a look at block styling backend. And let's just jump into one of our pages here. All right, so I just downloaded into this page one of the Cadence pre-done page layouts for an About Us page. And so there's a lot of stuff here. There's some rows and sections and lots of different, okay, so let's go in and edit this. And you will see that each one of these areas now has its own little label. Look at that. So you can see, exactly what's going on and how things are set up. Now, again, once you get used to the block editor and how things work, probably this is not something you'd want to keep on the site. But as you're getting your feet wet and kind of seeing what's what, this is pretty good. So as I click section or row, it is, I'm missing what happened? My icons didn't load up here. That's weird. Huh. Look at that. Something doesn't like something else. Let's see if I have something active that might be conflicting. It's not this block styling plugin because this worked just fine when I was looking at it beforehand. Oh, good. This is not good. Yeah, because what we need right now is a server error during a plugin roundup. All right, I'm not seeing anything else that is problem. Is B slider active? Yeah, B slider is still active, but that shouldn't have caused that issue. Well, let's just refresh and see what happens here. I don't know. Something's going on. That is weird. We can't blame WordPress 6.1 yet. No, we cannot. This is disconcerting. Wow, so the server's going kaput. This thing is on its own VPS. Okay, there are notices from cPanel that things are not functioning well. Interesting. Interesting. Something is breaking. Well, nothing like a live webinar to have something like this happen, right? Look at this. Yeah, we're having some server issues. Melanie, it may be under attack, actually. And I can't remember if this is behind Cloudflare or not. Let's take a quick look. So if you tune in for the plugin roundup, we are now going to troubleshoot a server and see what's going on here. Okay, actually, I do have WP Nathan is behind Cloudflare, so let's put us under attack mode and see if that helps. Doesn't look like it's really getting any tons of traffic or anything. This is what happens when you put the site under attack mode. You get that little JavaScript challenge. Isn't that interesting? Well, that seemed to help. Delightful. The glories of Cloudflare. Yeah, and it may be getting a bot attack. So we'll just keep it under attack mode until we finish up today, and then I'll go wage war against the bots. Because, what else do I have to do today? All right. So let's go back to this. Block styling back end. It's still not showing up. Look at that. It's so weird. Well, anyway, you see what happens is, you get all the icons are gone. What is up with this, y'all? Isn't that something? I mean, the WordPress icon is gone. It's not the cache. Let's see what other plugins are active. Backup Buddy, disable comments, Gravity Forms, the analytics, which we need to live right now, Cadence stuff, pods, regenerate thumbnails. I mean, these are all solid plugins. My goodness. How weird is that? The server ate too much candy last night. Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah. Good grief. Well. No, but look, it's the WordPress icon is gone. No, it's back. Look, it's back. All right. Who broke my WordPress? I'm going to try this one more time and then I'm going to move on. Block styling. Anyway, you get the idea. It puts labels at the top of the blocks and it makes them easier to work with. So there you go. This is so weird. Maybe there's something in this plugin now, because that seems to be, this worked perfectly yesterday. It worked absolutely perfectly yesterday. I don't know. Maybe there's something about that plugin. It might, wonder if it dropped an update today and there's an error. Yes. Look at that. 19 hours ago. The plugin developer buggied up the plugin. That's it. That's what it is. Okay. So, you know, if you want to break your website, use this plugin. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I'll tell you which plugin is not going to be on the top list today, and it's that one. All right, moving down the list. Let's just pretend like that never happened, shall we? Let's go on down to a really fun little plugin. This was from Devin's, in reference to Devin's comment earlier, command bar for WP admin from Jared Luxembourg. So this is an interesting plugin. You're either going to love this or you're going to hate it. Chris loves it. So here's the command bar. And at the top, Devin, per your request, find anything related to this WordPress install. Okay, so we click in here and let's say, I mean, what is something that you always struggle to look for? What is something it's hard, like you forget where things are? Like, I don't know. Let's just say car keys. Thank you, Paul. Let's say site health. Oh. Oh, it's content. So let's say we're looking for, I thought this did everything. Didn't this do, it does navigation here. All right. My goodness. This is going to go down as the webinar where everything went wrong. You can filter it by various types of things. Users, tools, general. It's not finding sub items. Well, Well, what is also cool here is you can set up hotkeys here. So let's say if you, I set this one up earlier. No, nuts. For forms. So let's just say that you're going back and forth in forms a lot. You can set up a hotkey here. So like if I type GR, it goes to Gravity Forms, just like that. GD, which, you know, okay, goes to the dashboard, or it could mean something completely different. GP goes to posts. So it's a neat little way to set up your own hotkeys. And I thought the search feature was more better than that. Okay. Anyway, that is command bar. 2 in a row that have not gone as expected. It does some other things. I'm going to keep moving on here. All right, this is one we actually, there are gremlins about indeed. Yeah, Peter, maybe it's the pro version that does that. This is actually a plugin that we like internally at the agency. Bulk page generator by Geek Code Labs. So this month and next month, we're talking about building a starter site for your development to spin up for every new site, so you don't have to do everything for starting from scratch each time. And this is a great plugin to generate multiple pages all at once. So in our process, for example, we start off, we make a list of pages, we gather content from the client, and then when you actually move into building things out on the website, instead of having to add new page and publish, add a page, publish, add a page, publish, this is a plugin that will let you just stack up a list of pages and hit the button and it just makes them all. or custom post types or posts or whatever. So bulk page generator is the name of this plugin. Let's activate it. The UI is really nice, and it does a lot of things that we really don't even use, but it does create its own top level menu item, but this is not a plugin we're going to keep active after the site goes anyway. So posts with the same content, you can add a prefix or a postfix, whatever that is. What is this going to be? Let's just do this. Let's say we're going to make this, by the way, can also be set up to generate WooCommerce products, custom post types. Let's just do some pages. I'm going to put a prefix of test space so I can go delete all these later. Actually, I'm going to make it an exclamation point so it starts at the top. And then look, we're just going to make a list of pages and posts. So we're going to call this test 1 separated by a pipe, test 2, you can add content to the pages if you want. I'm just going to drop some Ipsum text in there. You can put featured images on it if you want. You can set all these other options. I'm just going to hit save, and this is going to go generate those pages for me. Oh, status is published. And boom, done. So we go over here to pages, and look, there they all are. It's that fast. Super, super, super fast. So that, again, can be used to generate content in any post type, any standardly defined WordPress custom post type. And there they are. So we drop in here. All the content is there already. Now, it does some additional things as well. You can also have it set up. Like if you have a bunch of posts to set up all at once, you can actually do that all right from here. Post, let's say it's your client gives you 5 posts to add. There's a post, it's going to be published. We're going to close our comments. We can say, select an author, title, content, excerpt, featured image, add another one. And so you can actually stack up the content of all the posts, hit the button once, and boom, they're all published at the same time. So pretty cool. We don't use this very much, but the actual bulk publishing of the pages is pretty nice. You can even do posts with a dynamic title. Not quite sure. Like you can get really creative with this. I don't know why you'd ever use this. You certainly could, but there it is. It'll create a bunch of different posts with variable dynamic content based on what you set. So that is the bulk page generator from Geek Code Lab. Questions or comments on that one? Oh, John. So you're saying this could be gray hat SEO? Yeah, I mean, the way I would use this plugin is, if I know I've got this, I've got to set up 12 pages on this new site that I'm building, rather than going add page, new page, save, publish, back and forth, I would just stack them all up here, hit the button, and they're all there. Then we can go in and build the pages. It just saves time, generating multiple pages all at the same time. This lets you put in, content if you'd like it, but you don't have to do it that way. Yeah. All right, next up, while speaking of cats, as Melanie's cat apparently typed in the chat for us, that was awesome. This is a plugin called Cat Folders. Now, we've done a number of different media library type folders over the years, and this is certainly one of them. It works well, and it's especially good for sites that have lots of different photos. Now, this plugin does not affect anything on the front end of the site. This is not like a director, foldering media gallery for the front end. It's not about that. This is only for convenience on the back end of the website, but it does this pretty well. It is called Cat Folders, and it will allow you to put your photos in the media library or any media type in the media library into folders that you set up. So we've activated the plugin. Let's go over here to the media library, and you will see the new beautiful UI. Look at that. there's a folder called test folder. Isn't that nice? I think I have some PDFs in here. Let's see. Aren't there PDFs in the media library? This would be another. Okay, well, there's just one. But let's make a new library. Let's call this PDFs. Look at that. And I'm just going to drag this right into there and boom, done. So you could, for example, put all your PDFs in a folder or MP3s or, whatever. So no, this is not, Sue is asking, does it change the link? No, it doesn't do anything about any of this to the front end of the site. This is simply a UI for the media library to make it easier on you to find things. So you can set up, here's things that are uncategorized. It does work in either grid or list mode. Like here's a bunch of logos. We could say, let's make a new folder. Logos. Ooh. Let's get back to. I think I can multiple drag these. Yes. Boom. And just have a nice little classification. So you just click on it and there's all your logos. Isn't that cool? There are some settings where you can decide, what folder you want to start off in when you open this thing up. Everything else is kind of pro version related. You can nest, the pro version lets you nest folders and do some other things, but yeah, pretty cool. Sue, it is similar to the file bird plugin that we reviewed. Does a very similar thing. There's a number of plugins out there that do something like this. But I like this one. It works really well. It's the latest one that we've seen in the media library or in the plugin directory, and it works really well. It's like Happy Files as well. Happy Files is a good premium plugin that does this similar thing. So that's cat folders. If you got a big media library, or a client might like this to find the things they're looking for, it works really well. All right, let's move to the next one, which is this is kind of cool. Tabs for WooCommerce. Wouldn't it be nice? You know how WooCommerce has the little tabs for additional information? Wouldn't it be nice to quickly and easily set up your own tab with some particular information about a product? Well, this lets you do that. Yeah, if only there were a plugin for this. Yes, so there is one, and it is called, ironically, Tabs for WooCommerce. Yeah, so Sue, you used to have to use like a code snippet to do this, right? This gives you a UI to do it right within the product. So Tabs for WooCommerce, let's get it active. Now this is per product, okay? You have to set it up per product. So let's go into our amazing car. Ben, is this in the new Cadence Shop Kit? I must confess, I have not played with the new Cadence Shop Kit or had time to do so as much as I would like. Yeah, it may be in the new Cadence Shop Kit. So here's our custom tab. This is what it does. It puts this right here. If there's no title, the tab isn't visible. But if it does have a title, just for example, we can take this out. Well, here's the tab. This is the custom tab. Boom. If we take out the title, it won't show. Right? So putting a title into that area is what turns it on and off. And you can put whatever you want right there. I mean, it's plain text, but you could put HTML or do whatever you want to do. Sue, does it rename existing tabs? Nope. It creates a tab. That's what it does. You're looking at exactly what it does right here. It adds a custom tab option here. And if you put something in here, it will show up and then it will show whatever's under here. Very simple, very simple. But this will do short codes. Like you could put a short code there. Whatever renders out, it just renders out. HTML should work. Yeah. That is called Tabs for WooCommerce from WP Branch. Multiple tabs will be supported in the Pro version, which is yet to come, but there'll be multiple of these options. Karen, can it replace existing tabs? Nope. This is exactly what it does. It gives you the option to put in a custom tab, and if it's there, it shows up. If the title's not there, it doesn't show up. So it's very simple. Maybe the pro version, when the developer gets that out, maybe it will do some things like that. Yeah, Melanie, great for for videos and things of that nature, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any other questions or comments on this one? Pretty fun stuff. All right, here's another one that we use all the time on the agency side. It is called Export All URLs from Atlas Gondol. So this is a great plugin, if especially when you are getting ready to rebuild a site. If you are, say you've got a site with lots of content and you want to kind of get it structured or even set up redirects, this Export All URLs is a super helpful plugin because it lets you, believe it or not, export all the URLs out of your WordPress site. Isn't that clever? Yeah. So let's go into export all URLs. It's more powerful than the previous plugin called export some URLs. This does all. I'm just kidding. So this is what it lets you do. What are you wanting to export? Everything or just the particular custom post types on the site? What do you all want to export? We want to export the URLs, the post ID, like you can export all of this stuff. What post status? You can filter additionally between just date ranges and by author. There's additional advanced options like, do we want all the WooCommerce stuff in there or not? Do we want to exclude the domain URL? This is really helpful. So do you want it to be, .com/sample post or just sample post? So are we showing the domain or not? You can set up the name of the CSV, and then what are we going to output? So if it outputs here, it's just going to show on the screen. That's not really helpful, and I really don't understand why that option exists. I'm going to say export the CSV file. So we're just exporting everything. I'm going to hit export now, and it's going to reload this page. And look, click here to download. So I'm going to download this, and let me show you what it just generated. Excel is opening, and here is what it gave me. According to my settings, there's my post ID, my page titles, my URLs, and the category that it's in if it's a post, right? So there it all is. And so you can do things with this. You can set up real easy redirections and whatnot. Super helpful. And then when you're done, you click here, because what it's done is it's actually created a CSV file in the media library in a folder, in one of the uploads folders. Click here to delete it, and it just cleans that file out. It's gone. So now there's nothing left other than what I have right here open. So this is a great plugin. We use this frequently. Again, when we're taking on a site or we're about to rebuild a site or whatever. John, yeah, very similar to Screaming Frog, except from within the site itself. So you export all the things out of WordPress. Yeah, all the URLs. So super helpful. Really like this one. That is a great plugin. Any other questions or comments on this one? Okay, moving down the list to potentially the most fun plugin of the Roundup, which is called Independent Analytics. So there's quite the kerfluffle about Google Analytics and privacy violations and all of those things. By the way, did you see the news story just last week that, as I predicted, Google would delay the sunsetting of Universal Analytics for another year? And they have. It's going to be 2024 now. It is not going to come to an end in 2023. You can Google that. It's out there. Anyway, but it's, we're all kind of starting to move towards privacy for analytics. It's become a real thing. Here is, and really, let me back up a second. Google Analytics doesn't have to be on every site, right? A lot of sites don't need all the detail that Google Analytics offers. It's part of designing sites for privacy first. Like, what does the site owner really want? Do they just want to know how much traffic is coming to the site and what pages they visit? If that's the case, which, I mean, for many of us, that's all our clients want to know. I want to know that 512 people this week visited my website or whatever. This plugin does that, and it does it for free, and it does it with a privacy-first mindset. Everything stays on the site. So it's called Independent Analytics, Google Analytics Alternative for WordPress. It's a free plugin. You don't have to create an account anywhere else. everything stays on your site and it is tracking just in the database. And all the analytics show up here. So let me show you. I've been running this plugin for a couple weeks on this site just to try to collect some traffic. And I realized just yesterday that I had it turned off. It wasn't checking logged in. So it wasn't really, there's very little traffic to the site other than me. But you kind of see what's going on here. It's a nice little, look at this. It's a nice little graphic, views and visitors. Let's take a look here under the actual menu. Heather, it is pretty lightweight, actually. Yeah. So it's got a nice sort of, this kind of feels like Monster Insights to me. The GUI here is pretty nice. We can see here our pages and how many times they've been viewed and how many visitors viewed them. You know, what kind of page is it? Yeah, so it's very basic in the free version, but for many folks, this is really all they need, right? Interesting. You can also get the referrers. So what sites are linking to me? These came from a Google search. I wonder who found me on a Google search. That's weird. For WP Nathan. And most of the traffic is direct. We can also take a look at geographics. So we'll see where they came from. 3 views from 1 person in Canada and 33 views from 14 folks in the US. Somebody over here in Sweden. I wonder who that was, Ben. Yeah, so it's showing up right here, right? Pretty nice. There's me. So we're not collecting IP addresses. We're just collecting geodata. So it's not personally identifiable information. Yeah, some other things here. What day of the week starts, track. This is what I should have turned on, and it would have tracked all our work. You can also block IP addresses if you want. Which users can view the analytics, you can set by role there. This is kind of cool. Look at this. Enable the public view counter. So we're going to party like it's 1999 and put analytics on the front end of our site. Let's just show our view count on pages and save settings. And look here at the bottom of all of my pages now look at that. Look at views, 30. Interesting. Isn't that something? You can put your little view meter down at the bottom. And by the way, you can even do it by a short code only on certain poster pages or whatever. Like you can put it just right there at the bottom. If, there's maybe a page that your client just wants to have something hidden at the bottom that's, teeny tiny at the bottom that shows them how many views were there. So it's interesting. This is an interesting plugin for free. It is quite good. It does have also some posts and, how-tos and so forth here. Yeah, so the pro version adds campaign tracking. It starts at $39 a year per site or $119 lifetime per site, all the way up to, you can buy it lifetime, $599 lifetime unlimited sites right now during the early adopter discount. So pretty interesting. I don't know anything about these folks other than pretty cool plugin that's a privacy first analytics focus. So I don't know. What do you think? Might be worth playing around with. Put it on a site, put it on one of your own sites and just see what you get. Very, very interesting. Class says he's just talked all of his clients out of displaying visitor counts. Okay, who's old enough to remember? Do you remember the little black number counter back in the day that had like the LED bright green numbers at the bottom? Oh yeah, back in the day. You are an OG web person. Yes. Okay. Anyway, so this isn't that, but it's a WordPress based analytics. Pretty nice. Yeah. Okay. Elizabeth said Elizabeth, there is a plugin, and we did it one time in this plugin roundup that was one of the OG green LCD looking display page counters that you could drop on the bottom of a site with a short code. I don't remember. It's been a long time ago, but it does exist, and it's probably still out there if you look hard enough for it. Yeah, it's the old MySpace counter, Joe. That's it. I think it was actually back in the day, it was like a PL script. It was a Perl script that you had to make run on your site and get it to work. Oh, well, anyway. Okay. Last but certainly not least is a plugin called Ally Buttons or Accessibility Buttons A11Y buttons. This is a fun little plugin. So those of you that are really designing for accessibility now, this is a little suite of buttons that you might want to be aware of. It's pretty cool. I just have them dropped across the top of the page, but you can do them individually. They are block based. But let me show you how this works. I got to remember what page did I put it on. I think it was my Gutenberg test page. Yes. Okay. So here they are. Now you can only do some of these. You don't have to put them at the top. You can put them like, for example, they could be in a cadence element at the top or the bottom of the page or off to the side, or there's lots of options here. But look what we can do here. We've got a skip to content button. Pretty nice. We've got a high contrast mode. Yikes, but it works. We have a toggle a readable font. So this is a particular typeface that is apparently more readable to people who have dyslexia or other some sort of a reading difficulty. This lets you bump up the font sizes, decrease the font, or just reset the font sizes. So it's a set of accessibility buttons, which honestly is very similar to some of those overlays that, you know, just drop stuff onto your site. A lot of the functionality that goes along there. This is something built into Word. It's a WordPress plugin. You can drop it wherever you want. Pardon me. And it edits in the block editor. So let me just open this up and you'll see right here, this is our accessibility buttons, and we have lots of different styles of how this can work. You can actually change, you know, you can change the titles of the buttons right there. You have options to change color and, you know, the background of the button. If we want it to be something else, we can do that. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Melanie, doesn't the theme have skipped content? Cadence does, yes, but maybe your theme doesn't. And here's a way to drop it in there if you want it. But so these can be put anywhere. It's just a block. It can be a reusable block. It can be in a cadence element and hung on any hook anywhere in the site. It could be in a sidebar if you wanted to do that. This gives you the ability to orient it vertically like this, for example. So you can do a lot with this. Pretty interesting. I think I'm still having server problems. Something's going on the server still. My goodness. I don't know. Something's going on the server. But that's accessibility buttons. It does some fun stuff. Here's the name of that typeface. I'm not the Atkinson Hyper Legible font. So doesn't replace the need to make the site accessible any more than dropping over, you know, one of those overlays that are marketed heavily to web developers that are not solutions for accessibility. You still have work to do. This is just a suite of buttons that might make your site more, you know, accessible than by default. So anyway, that is accessibility buttons. Any further questions or comments about that one before we wrap this up? All right, folks, that brings us to the end of the November 2022 plugin roundup here on iThemes Training. So it's time for your vote. One vote only, please. What was your favorite plugin of the month? Next month is the best of plugin roundup. So we'll be tabulating all these results and giving you the best of the best for the last 6 months. Let's take a look. Bulk page generator, export URLs, independent analytics, find my blocks, independent analytics, find my blocks, admin, export, in analytics, find my blocks, folders. Oh my. Yeah, this is going to be hard to, okay. It looks like no clear winner. Okay, independent analytics definitely has a bunch of votes. Find my blocks has a bunch of votes. Chris, you're just going to have to look at the chat log because there's, I don't know, there's way a lot of votes here. Independent analytics is definitely on there. Joe says all the broken ones. So we're going to forget he said that because I'm already regretting half of the plugins on this list that worked perfectly just yesterday. This seems to always happen. Yes. All right. So folks, that is going to wrap us up for today. There is no webinar tomorrow on iThemes Training, but as I mentioned, if you missed it, if you joined us a little bit late, office hours for members is on Thursday, but we just added this one. Be sure to register for the WordPress 6.1 launch event with our own Timothy Jacobs. WordPress 6.1 is due out today at some point. So if you're like me, you kind of wait for a couple weeks usually after a major release before you update. But so next week, 1 week from today, 1 o'clock, Timothy Jacobs will be taking us through all the features of WordPress 6.1, and that's going to be a great event. He's done the last few of the WordPress releases for us, and they've always been very exciting. Melanie, yes, tomorrow is Accessibility Day. If you are interested in accessibility, and I hope you are, isn't it this? What is the link for WordPress access? I think it's wpaccessibility.day. Yes, there it is. If you would like to learn about the WordPress accessibility, there's no better event than this. It's a free 24-hour conference tomorrow, sponsored by Amber Hines of Equalize Digital and Joe Dawson, who did the WP Accessibility plugin, is on the core accessibility team. Both of those folks have presented here, and they're brilliant. Lots of great speakers are lined up over the next couple of days. So check this out. Get your ticket if you haven't done so already. It's going to be a great day of training about accessibility. All right, everybody. I just realized I was sharing those links to not everyone. So there is the link to sign up for the 6.1 event if you haven't done so already. That's going to do it. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me for the last hour. Sorry for the weirdness and server issues and whatever else was going on there. I'm back Thursday for office hours for members. And again, free webinar next Tuesday about WordPress 6.1. Join us back for that here on iThemes Training, where we go further together.